So apparently there's a new bird cough that they're trying to scare you with again. Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about the new H5N5 bird flu thing that's now actively transmitting into humans, supposedly. We'll read the article and kind of go over my thoughts on that here in a minute. But before we get into that, let's talk about today's sponsor. That is the Perfect Pickler Home Probiotic Kit, where you can create your own, grow your own probiotics right in the comfort of your own kitchen. Most of the stuff you buy in the store today has no probiotics in it. It doesn't matter if it's kombucha or yogurts or all these things that they advertise to you. It's all a lie. Studies have proven there's almost zero, if not any, probiotics in any of those things that they advertise at your grocery store. The way you get probiotics, yes, you can buy them in the pill bottles, very expensive pill bottles, or better yet, studies have proven, grow them from home. Make them from home in your own kitchen. That's what these kits help you to do. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Let's get back to the article. Over at CIDREP, which is published by the University of Minnesota, first ever human case of H5N5 avian flu confirmed in Washington state. This came out just the other day. And of course, first things first, they want to make sure you see the picture right there on the screen of the backyard chickens. How horrible that is. This is what has caused this disease, this horrible human disease. This is what's going to be the bane of our existence. This is the destroyer of worlds. Those of you who endeavor to raise your own chickens instead of buying your eggs at the supermarket like everybody else. The health department now, they're concerned about your health. The health department in Washington state has confirmed that the resident of Grays Harbor County is the first person to be diagnosed as having avian flu in the United States since February, and the first human ever known to be infected with the H5N5 strain. Now, sound your horror music right here, because this is the first ever. This is where it all starts. This is where the bubonic plague will wipe out all of humanity all over again. It says the person had underlying conditions, meaning they were sick already. If you don't know what that means, usually they'll say comorbidities or underlying conditions. That means this person was on his way out already. And so we just happened to test for H5N5 and found out that this person is infected with that strain. Previous human detections in the United States have involved the H5N1 strain, which infected thousands of cattle as well as commercial poultry and wild birds in the past 2 years. Most human cases involving H5N1 have been mild, but one man died in January in Louisiana. And let's point out the whole wild birds thing. I still have yet to see lots of wild birds dead around. I live in the woods, okay? I live out in rural America. Lots of birds everywhere. I have yet to see a whole bunch of dead birds. I mean, every once in a while you might find a dead bird. I've not seen one in like the last few years. I have not come across one dead bird in the last probably 5 years. But it's affecting wild birds. Apparently somewhere else, because it's not working here. It says, during a briefing over the weekend, the patient was described as an older person who is severely ill and remains hospitalized after developing a high fever, confusion, and difficulty breathing. Now, here's where we get into the scare tactics. Mixed backyard flock at home. The affected person has a mixed, mind you, backyard flock of domestic poultry at home. And has had exposure to wild birds. I mean, haven't we all had exposure to wild birds? Have you been outside lately? Do you go from your house to your car? Is it walking from your house to your mailbox to check the mail? Breathing the same air that the wild birds are breathing? Doesn't that mean that you have had now exposure to wild birds? I mean, who's writing this article? How dumb do they think we are? It's this kind of stuff that a normal human being with critical thinking skills who didn't go to public school can usually pick out that there's some sort of mind control at work here. They're trying to gear your mind in order to think a certain way and to be scared. You don't want to go outside to check your mail. No, you don't want to go to the grocery store. You don't want to go to wherever because you'll be exposed to wild birds. The domestic poultry or wild birds are the most likely source of virus exposure. However, public health investigation is ongoing. We're getting to the bottom of this. The health department said in a press release, the Washington State Department of Health is working with the local health department and the Washington State Department of Agriculture to complete exposure and animal health investigations. We're going to find out what these wild birds are up to that are flying around out there in your backyard and in your front yard and all over your community. So far, mind you, disaster is right around the corner. No other people in the state have been identified as having H5N1. Oh, well, that's good. Thank goodness. Human-to-human transmission of avian flu has not been documented. So we've had the first ever human known to be infected with H5N5 strain, but so far there has been no human-to-human transmission. Thank goodness. Washington State has had dozens of detections of avian flu in wild birds, waterfowl, and backyard poultry in the past weeks, mirroring a national spike in activity. Yes, there's a national spike going on from all you people who keep birds in your environments. And people like you who have access to wild birds in your environments too. Now, big in the news recently was the whole Canadian thing where they killed all those ostriches up in Canada. And there was a lot of people that were protesting, and the protesting were getting really, there was a lot of national attention, even international attention that was on that whole scenario until it began to die down. Other things come up in the news cycle and people began to forget about it. And then they came in the dead of night and with a sniper team, apparently that's what I heard online. I'm not sure how true that was, but just what I read. Some of you who may have heard about that story can comment below, but apparently a sniper team comes in and starts picking them off one by one. There was over 200 birds, I believe, who were completely healthy, tested, confirmed, completely healthy, but Canada says they got to go because they're a danger to society. They may, perhaps one day be infected with some disease that we won't be able to control because they're birds, So we have to eliminate them, and that's what they did. Here in America, that would be a little bit harder because farmers here actually have weapons, where if they decided to do some sort of, Bundy thing where they were like, you know what, we're just not going to let you take our cattle and move our cattle and do all the things you want to do. We're going to stand up to you. That would be a little bit harder. But in Canada, the populace is completely disarmed, and the farmers up there, the ranchers up there, don't have a choice in what the Canadian government decides to do with their animals, their property. So I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, at least not until they first take away all of our guns, but they are definitely trying to roll out the scare tactics yet again, like they have in the past, and we'll see how long it takes that to take hold, if it takes hold. But if it doesn't work the first time, try it again. Doesn't work, third time's a charm, maybe fourth time's a charm. We'll get this eventually. Okay, what do you think? Leave a comment below. Do you have backyard chickens? Are you scared to death of them? Are you scared of the wild bird population that's in your community? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear that. And if you're not worried about this, leave a comment below. It helps with the algorithm on getting these videos out there. Now, let's talk about probiotics for a second, because when it comes to your health, a good defense is sometimes the best offense. And I've always believed that. And so that's one of the reasons why I feel very strongly about PerfectPickler.com. In fact, we own the company. The company is owned and operated right here. All the kits assembled right here on the Homestead in the Ozarks. PerfectPickler.com is also sold in a number of online retailers. You can find the entire list of online retailers at our website, PerfectPickler.com, where you can also order your kits. And so the PerfectPickler.com fermenting kit, you can find the Master System kit. Now this includes a download, QR code download, where you can download this book, this recipe book, including all the instructions as well. You can download it right to your phone. If you order the value package kit, you can do twice the amount. It's got sets for 2 lids in here, 2 air bubblers, and includes the physical copy of the recipe booklet and instructions. So there's the value package. Most people order that. A lot of the online retailers order both of these because they're very easy to display in the produce sections of their supermarkets or small groceries. We sell to a lot of small grocery people, like usually small mom and pop groceries, these small health food stores that offer produce and things like that. They sell them right along with the produce in order to convey the idea that you can take this produce, take it home, put it in your kitchen, and then grow your own probiotics with it that are going to be much more effective than the stuff that you're going to be able to buy in the store, especially if it's like marketing products like yogurts and kombuchas and stuff like that. But even better yet than those small pill bottles that cost like 50, 40, 50 bucks, whatever, at your local health food stores as well. You're never going to find a better source of probiotics, no matter what they say, no matter what studies have proven this to be true. I'm not just spouting off here. You're never going to be able to find a better source of probiotics than actually doing it yourself. Studies have proven that. Scientific studies, peer-reviewed studies, published online. In fact, some of them are linked over at the website. Growing them yourself at home in your kitchen is the best way to do that. So if you have a friend who would like to maybe try this, if you would like to try this, this is a great idea to pass along and get these kits in your kitchen and start using them. It doesn't do any good if you buy it and just don't use it. You want to go home and use it, actually use it. And it's a very easy, within 4 days, you're done. Some people are like, well, doesn't it take like 2 weeks? No, it's like done in 4 days. It's load it, lock it, and leave it. It's like 4 days. You can have probiotics in 4 days. Very simple. Lots of recipes in the book. Give it a try. All right, guys. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the Homestead that we make here on the Homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.